They're Apex fans. We're bridging up on Apex Season 25 here. This is Formal Gangster trying to catch you up on the patch notes. We're going to go through the new legend, the meta for the weapons, the new arenas tactics, and the new setup for that, and then we'll probably move from there into some of the gameplay. So it's just a brief overview of the patch notes on their website, and you can go back and check it if you'd like. Anti-cheat is supposed to be pretty cool right now. They said they're going to be focusing on improvements and iterated efforts across the internal cheat functions and automated detection. Truth be told, I haven't seen that many cheaters recently, so I think, whatever they're doing, it's working. It's been a lot better for the last few seasons. If you do see cheaters, usually I've found they've been Sentinel players just because they have the boosted loader and it seems like they can play really fast. And with the changes in this season, I feel like we might see a few more of those, so look out for the Sentinel. That's probably going to be a big weapon to cheat with. The audio is pretty interesting. They're going to put a new system in to kind of fix the audio so that you'll get better in-game audio and you won't get weird footsteps and stuff like that. Um, I've never had like the worst trouble with the audio, so any improvement is good, but I've not really had an issue. Sometimes I've had an issue with the text chat though. Some of my buttons won't work for this or that. I don't know why. They seem to work in other apps just fine. Matchmaking seems really nice. It seems like most of the time right now they're leveraging skill values as opposed to just who's available on the server. So it'll increase wait times, but it'll give you more skilled people. Auto merging of players into high population regions to expand the pool of availables closer to matchmaking. So really what it means is that they're gonna like try and pool all of the servers together to kind of, you know, give you a better range of players to play with and not put, Preds in with golds, that kind of thing. You won't get reset on each rank split, so essentially what that means is you're gonna work with, how skilled you are, as opposed to what your rank will, go down to or be. Some people were kind of upset by this because they get, set back to bronze or rookie if they didn't play for a season, and it seemed like a hard climb to get back into it. That's why I feel like a lot of people, didn't want to stay on top of Apex because like you have to kind of stay on top of it. Um, Asking for Platinum Diamond Masters players will be a little longer, try to find opponents close to their RP value skills, so, I guess that's understandable. Arenas looks like the most fun. They're going to be bringing back the 3v3 with the new 1v1 variant. There are some changes. Obviously, this is, fun collection that you can get the Deadly Limited, probably out today. For the store updates, Exotic Shop, Legend Locker, a few different fun animations, I suppose. What I really care about in the patch notes here, this is probably the meat and potatoes. Care package rotation with the Bocek compound and Havoc return to the floor. That Bocek is going to be really cool. There's a lot of updates with it with the new champion and how it fires and the weapon, like how you can pick up the arrows and stuff. The Havoc fires just like it did before, but it doesn't have that burst fire across the map, so you're not going to be able to snipe with it like before. The triple take enters the care package, and it gets, I believe it's like a gun shield. It's pretty nice. Gold weapon rotation becomes Bocek, compound bow, hemlock, longbow, mastiff, and wingman. Arsenals added VO for pinging and interacting with arsenals before loot bin resets. Light, heavy, and energy arsenals now give 2 blocks of ammo with each pickup. Ammo at all arsenals now takes 20 seconds to respawn, was 10. So you get more ammo, but it takes longer to respawn. That's kind of nice because it pushes the battle faster and you don't have people just sitting around the thing. It speeds up the gameplay, but at the same time, um, it does stretch out the time, so you're only going to get those 2 slots. So maybe that's better gameplay. Honestly, that's probably better. After loot bins reset, enhancing weapon will give 2 attachments. Add a slight flare to the model that will show the arsenal is reset. Ammo arsenals will only take 10 seconds to grant full stacks of ammo. So later on, it goes back to normal, and you get 2 attachments instead of 1, which is pretty nice. Assault class, Battle Surge, removed scan on shield crack. Okay, like that was pretty crazy. Health bar now lingers for 3 seconds, was 4. That's not bad. Move speed boost now only applies while sprinting during the active window. That's probably not too bad. Ash has been pretty broken, so maybe that's what this is for, and especially Bloodhound. Skirmisher class, charged knock removed. Attack charge gained on knock. So, you can't just like jump in and play really aggressively. Upgrades that provide extra charges for others. Ultimately, we felt this belongs better in the upgrade tree, like Pathfinder's level 3 upgrade, rather than in class perks. So, yeah, the charge on knock is pretty wild. So your targets on this new. Oh, so Sparrow's the new champion. And with the new champion, he's got some cool abilities. The double jump's really cool. You can use it to kind of like jump off of walls and stuff. Pressing jump while climbing will give you an extra jump. You can carry additional arrows and explosive arrows for the bow check. The explosive arrows, as far as I've seen, anybody can use them. He can just carry extra arrows. His tracker darts are cool. Works a lot like the guy from Valorant. You shoot the dart, you can kind of see where people are. Um, there's two ways the ultimate works. Essentially, one like saps life, and the other one divides it into three. And each one of them does, I think it's like 120 damage up to per person it's next to. It looks like a pretty wide range right now, so it might be kind of cool in the initial days. They'll probably nerf it if it's pretty broken, though. We'll see how much play he gets, though. Could be like Crypto and not get a ton of play initially. Upgrades level 2, extra traps, gains an additional tactical charge, plus 2 traps in the world. Hunt target, Sparrow gains a speed boost when running towards a marked enemy. Alternate mode. Alt has 3 charges, and yep, Sparrow siphons life and shields. So that's pretty cool. Life and shields are pretty big. Like if you can recover both of those at the same time, there aren't that many abilities that do that. Ash, Predator Pursuit, remove Deathbox minimap locations. Yep, that was pretty messed up. Hotfix, increased ultimate distance travel time to 2.5 was 1.4, so it's just slower. Increased alt minimum distance travel time to 0.5 was 0.3. Okay, so essentially, like, it's slower on both accounts. We love that players are having fun playing Ash, but we want to tweak her balance without removing the parts of her kit the players are enjoying. Predator's Pursuit feels redundant now that she has her new dash passive and is another form of intel gathering that competes with Sparrow. Conduit, increased attack, health regen per tick to 4 was 3, that's cool. Mirage, increased number of decoys during alt to 6 was 5, Mirage is getting cool. Pathfinder looks like he kind of went back to normal. The grappling hook now variable ranging from 10 to 30 seconds depending on distance traveled was a flat 30. Zipline gun, integrated zipline Zen upgraded into base. I'm not sure what the zipline Zen is. Damage mitigation increased to 50% was 25%. Uh, that's actually pretty good, especially so I guess it's when you're using the zip line and you're on it, there's a damage mitigation of 50%, and it was 25%, so that could actually be really good. This one says you get a second zipline gun charge, that's really nice. Gain a zipline grappling hook charge, replaces cooldown. Wow, so you could have two grapples. That'll be sick. That'd be really sick. I feel like they nerfed Pathfinder so much, she could be such a stronger player right now. Decrease the time for attack to hit targets to 0.8 was 1.4. Decrease time to attack to finish 0.9 was 1.0. Seer could be pretty ruthless this season. We'll see. He was very oppressive when he came out. The new sniper stock essentially says you can move like it's hip fire, you can aim much faster. So once you get the gold sniper stock, you can pretty much just like keep your gun out, run however you want. Um, it's it's pretty cool. If you're a sniper, you're gonna love it. Marksman only, improved ADS and outspeed bonus for all levels, improved raise and lower speeds for all levels. This is interesting because the scout was actually pretty oppressive there for a while, so I'm gonna see if that's gonna get high play in this season, even though it doesn't look like it has a bunch of changes to it, because that would be enough right there. Boosted loader removed from floor loot. Well, that makes sense. Skull Piercer added to floor loot. Ooh, can be equipped to 30-30 longbow and wingman. So these three are going to be pretty ruthless, especially initially. At least I think. Gun shield generator no longer usable with devotion or L-star. That kind of makes sense. Can be used with the hemlock. That's going to be wild. Removed from P2020, Volt and Wingman, added to Bowcheck, Compound, Bow, Devotion, Mastiff, and Sen. I think the Devotion's going to be nuts, guys. Previous hotfix, Ultimate Charge from Nox and is reduced from 20%, reduced to 20% was 30%. AR Havoc Rifle is now floor loot. Decreased damage to 19 was 21. Increased hipfire spread. Recoil increased. Select fire removed. Good. At least for the people that were getting sniped by it. Increased headshot damage by 2. Increased mag sizes. I think this Hemlock could be kind of wild. We'll see if it gets played. The Devotion looks nuts. New perk, equipping a purple tier barrel, stock, and mag will turbocharge the Devotion, reducing its spin-up time, improving the scaling with higher tier barrels, improved stability and recoil control, equivalent to old purple, advanced stability and recoil control, improved scaling with higher tier stocks, improved handling and reload speeds, advanced handling and reload speeds, increased purple mag capacity to 52. Wow. So it's like having the turbocharger without having the turbocharger. And it's like having the control on top of the turbocharger because now it's giving you extra handling. That's nuts. Devotion has been feeling a tad clunky and was too slow in this meta, so we've taken a big swing at how it scales with attachments, and now it continues to live up to the late game monster fantasy it always had by embedding the turbocharger feature behind the fully decked out Devotion. We've made its loot chase more exciting and rewarding than ever. L-Star increased vertical and horizontal movement, decreased projectile size. Good. Good. That thing was nuts for a while. Bowcheck, now floor loot, can also be found on sniper arsenals. Added sniper stocks as an attachment. That's good. Uses its own reserve of 40 arrows, similar to care package weapon. Arrows shot in the world can be retrieved to replenish supply. Arrows shot into players can be retrieved from top of death box, max 4. Arrows cannot be found in floor looting. That's tough, but it's the same as a red weapon. Max charge damage decreased to 55 was 75. Decreased rate of fire. Ooh, I don't like that. Shatter caps removed. Frag grenades can be used to energize the bowcheck with explosive arrows. Must be fully drawn in order to fire an explosive arrow. Explosive arrows will stick to the target on player hit. Explosive arrow on hit damage reduced to 40. Headshot for 64. Really, the explosive arrows just do an extra 25 damage, so you can kind of like fire them at the ground, and I think they can hit anywhere from like 12 to 25, and you can fire them at the person and get an extra 25 off of it. So if you're hitting at a 64 plus 25, you're still only going to get, around 100 with one shot. But maybe if you stick them twice, like maybe it's a double stick thing, it's going to be nuts. But you probably have charged again, so I don't know how realistic that is. Triple take is in the care package. Damage per bullet increased to 23, was 22. Increased rate of fire. Choke speed significantly increased. Gun shield generator added. This is going to be fucking nuts because it was fucking nuts last season, and I don't know why it would be any less nuts this season with all of those added. Decreased damage to 24 from 25 for the 2020. Decreased all of the mag sizes. This makes sense. This thing was nuts. Um, We'll see, if that changes its usage at all. Wingman slightly increased rate of fire. Added laser sight as an accepted attachment. I don't know why. Dev note. Lasers are cool. Okay, cool. Shotgun. Greatly increased rate of fire at the base. And all bolt tiers. Damage per pellet reduced to 6 was 8. Yes, but this thing has started shooting a lot faster. I've noticed that. So, you might see what you think of it. It's it's pretty ruthless right now. And to be honest, the passions for the wingman say that like increased rate of fire, yada yada yada. Um, this thing is hitting a lot more accurately than it did earlier this season. So check that one out too. SMGs increase headshot damage by 1, that's always good. Improved hip fire values, normally it to the other SMGs, that's not too bad. Charge rifle limb damage up to 0.9. This thing was already terrifying, so we'll see how that goes this time. Longbow, that will be nice. Sentinel was already pretty nuts, so we'll see that again. Same maps, a couple of updates. LMT arenas, 3 matches to win. Nothing too exciting there. Probably the same maps that they had the first round through. Bot Royale, if anyone's really interested. Ranked season's going to be very interesting because they'll have these ranked ladders. It's kind of a way that you can, compete on a skill basis. It's leaderboard. I think they're gonna do events over the weekend to kind of, really like pump things up with their rank challenges and yada yada yada. So I think they're tightening up matchmaking. That seems like, what they're saying their main focus is here. Um, Skilled lobby players, RP value. Bug fixes says block doors should no longer occasionally open towards the player. Okay. Certain POIs should now list the correct arsenals. Control weapons should no longer occasionally swap after upgrading. That's crazy. Dropship countdown will no longer end before the player gets in. Fixed an issue with the 2 foresight on the G7 Scout reactive skins. Gold loot bins once again spawn loot as they should. Sprinting out of mantle should no longer cause inconsistent sprints speeds depending upon settings. Fix some issues with the ring VFX sometimes disappear. I've had that happen. Ring just disappears. Quality of life. Firing range. Meow. Legend Logger. Added additional info panel screens, sorting ability, lifeline, reduce the intensity of DOC's teleport trail to reduce visual clutter. Previous battle pass reactive items are now available in the exotic store. That could be cool. Reduce size and frequency of accelerated weapon screen effects to be less obstructive. That's nice. Slightly reduce the amount of time you are locked out of ADS after charging a sentinel. That's helpful. Vantage. Moved energizing sniper's mark sniper with alt accelerant to reload. Not sure. Maybe it just gives you a full reload when you do it. I don't know. Fixed rare cases where gameplay volume when spectating would be applied during regular gameplay. That sometimes I had trouble with something like that. Revenant wall climb footsteps clear in the mix. That's helpful. Slightly reduced thermite volume. I mean, none of these are huge. Honestly, I think you kind of get the gist. Most of what we're looking at here is obviously the new ranked play and how it's split by the skill system as opposed to just, how many hours you grind for RP. Definitely looking at the arenas and how, you got the 3v3 and the new 1v1. And of course, looking at the new weapon updates and how they've been changed. I'm definitely going to look at this Evade, probably that Wingman, and the Devo down here, wherever it went. Just looks freaking ruthless. I don't know. Maybe it's going to be amazing. Maybe it's going to be nothing. Um, so we'll see how all that goes. Obviously, the biggest one coming up is going to be that Bocek. I think that's going to be the one everybody's looking at initially. Sparrow's definitely going to be the champion to check out, just with all his new abilities and how broken some of our champions are when they come out. And finally, the anti-cheat's really going to help because obviously we've all played with a few cheaters and it's as frustrating as it gets. So, uh, I don't know if you enjoyed this video or if it was helpful, but if it was, please leave a like and subscribe. Put something down in the comments. I'd love to hear more from you. I'm Keith here with Formal Gangster. We're a team that plays on Sundays, so if you ever want to, catch up or join a lobby, hit us up, and we'd love to play with you. Thank you.